OnStar's First Assist service has received Emergency Medical Dispatch Accreditation. This is a higher certification than most 911 call centers have achieved. Find out more in this edition of OnStar on the Road. Specially trained OnStar emergency advisors responding to subscriber emergency service calls, like a vehicle crash, provide emergency medical dispatch services while subscribers wait for first responders to arrive at the scene. OnStar is the first private company to be recognized by the International Academies of Emergency Dispatch as a medical accredited center of excellence. Of the over 2,700 agencies that use dispatch protocol, most of which are 911 call centers, just over 4% have achieved OnStar's level of accreditation. For OnStar subscribers, that means access to industry-leading top-notch care while waiting for help to arrive. OnStar's Kathy Bishop explains more.
I think the most important and exciting aspect of OnStar providing emergency medical dispatch ties in very nicely with our cornerstone service of automatic crash response. Because if you envision a very serious crash where the occupants are severely injured or pinned, in the past, without an OnStar subscription, there perhaps was no way that help was going to be summoned to that vehicle, because unless there was someone who witnessed the crash or came upon the crash, that vehicle might sit for a long time before it was even detected. So now, in addition to automatically connecting in a crash situation, we have trained emergency medical dispatch, first assist call takers that are able to start some life-saving instruction right into that crashed vehicle, assisting the survivors. So we're asking questions like, is there anyone that's injured? Has anyone been pinned into the vehicle? Has anyone been thrown? Are there any chemicals that might be leaking at the scene that first responders need to know about? Is there any serious bleeding? This is all a jump start for better outcome for the occupants before the paramedics or other EMS arrive on scene. So you're in that precious golden hour where every minute and second counts in terms of survival, severity of injuries. We're able to get right in there, be in contact with the occupants, and get things heading in the right direction. And even in a situation where the injuries may not be as serious, oftentimes OnStar is connected into the vehicle even before the vehicle comes to a final resting position. And people are quite shaken if you've been through an experience like that. So the reassuring voice of the highly trained OnStar emergency advisor is very comforting to someone who is in that situation.
Yes, I would imagine that that is very helpful in that situation. Tell me, how does OnStar's First Assist feature work?
OnStar First Assist, which is also known in the public safety industry as emergency medical dispatch, is basically a protocol guidelines for assisting people who are having medical emergencies. We started doing this 3 years ago, and we basically identified the need based on receiving medical emergency calls from vehicles, from OnStar-equipped vehicles, whether it was a medical emergency that was the result of a crash, or just something that was occurring inside of a vehicle, or someone was witnessing a need by someone outside of their vehicle and they were going to participate as a good Samaritan. So an example would be, let's say someone might be driving and maybe their child has gotten a bee sting or has ingested some peanut butter and is having an allergic reaction. The protocol and the connection to the advisor would allow for that advisor, first and foremost, to conference in a second advisor and then to call the public safety agency with jurisdiction. So we always try to get help on the way, but during that time between when help has been summoned and they actually arrive on scene, we are able to assist the vehicle occupants with the medical emergency by using these defined and proven protocol from the National Academy for Emergency Dispatch.
That's fantastic. Tell us about the International Academies of Emergency Dispatch recognition of OnStar as a medical accredited center of excellence.
Well, the accreditation really puts OnStar in a position where we're the best of the best in terms of providing emergency medical dispatch. It's a very rigorous process where there's 20 different points of accreditation requirements, including an on-site inspection, maintaining very, very high quality scores, making sure that employees maintain certification, go through continuing education. So it's very critical, and not only is it critical and allows us to attain the quality that we need, it's also something that's recognized by public safety agencies and others as kind of a badge of honor that an organization has achieved. So that is what makes the accreditation important to us, and then ultimately that translates to the good work that we can do with subscribers because of the fine quality in terms of our approach to providing the protocol and direction. From my personal perspective, having previously, before coming to OnStar, running a 911 center, I realized that this is a very important technique that can be used by lay people with the right training, and felt that it was quite important that OnStar be able to provide some of the same life-saving instruction that 911 centers have been doing for the past 30 years.
What training do OnStar advisors go through to prepare them for these types of situations?
Well, first of all, an OnStar advisor to be able to be chosen to be on the emergency team has to have excelled as an advisor taking non-emergency calls. So that's very, very important. Then we put the OnStar emergency advisors through very rigorous training that would be equivalent to what a 911 call taker might receive. So they go through 6 weeks of OnStar training where they learn to handle non-emergency calls. Then we have 4 weeks of training where they're doing emergency call work. And then finally they go through a week of training with the International Academy of Emergency Dispatch where they become CPR certified and they earn their emergency medical dispatch certification and the knowledge of how to use the software that houses the protocols that we use. So it's a very comprehensive and rigorous training that we put them through so that we can all be confident that no matter what they encounter as a medical emergency on the phone, that they are truly prepared to handle it, to remain calm, to be able to make quick decisions under pressure. Some of the things that in an ordinary call center setting, they might not be called upon to be proficient at doing.
It's great to know that OnStar First Assist responders are trained and ready to take any emergency call. Thank you, Kathy. This is Katie Pontone for OnStar on the Road.